All right, guys. If you can hear me, I seem to be having some technical difficulties. I'm trying to sort that out now. If you can hear me, I seem to be having some technical difficulties. Kindly type in the chat section that you can hear me. I'll just keep on talking while I try to resolve this as fast as possible. Not really sure what is going on again. So sorry about this. Let me try to sort this out now. Okay, so let me just try to figure this out and see how best I can fix this while I think I have a few people that are connected now. Right, so I'm just going to try to fix this now as I try to figure this out. So once again, if you can hear me, you can just type in the chat section that you can. I'm trying to solve this as fast as possible. Sorry for the slight delay. If you can hear me, kindly type in the chat section. This is via YouTube. So kindly type and I'll see. There might be a delay as well while I try to sort this out. Okay, let me just try to fix this quickly here. I'm actually trying to stream through different places, and it's giving me a bit of a headache. So not sure what the issue is. Hopefully this gets to work. Not sure what the issue is here. Let me try to solve this quickly. It's giving me error. Oh boy. Technology as well could be a pain. Okay, thank you. I can see Ben said I can hear you. Thank you for that. That's Ben. Thank you. Just hang on. Since you can hear me, I'm sure you can see my screen as well. I'm trying to sort this out on another feed. And also, you were supposed to be seeing. You're supposed to be seeing. Please also tell me what you can see, please. Ben, tell me what you can see. Sorry. I don't know how this happened. I might have to postpone this. Not sure how this happened. Please tell me what you can see on your screen. If you can see my slides or you can see either the slide or my chat, just let me know what you can see and I'll just be checking to be sure, because it seems there might be a little issue here. Just trying to see how fast I can resolve this quickly. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh boy, this is really a pain. Oh, this one is saying it has ended. Father Lord. Okay, I might need to get another stream on this. Okay, let me try and do this again. Okay, since this one is live, okay, this one should be working now. So let me set this one up here. What is going on? Okay, let me try this again. Oh boy. And this is 10 minutes after. Please let me know what you can see on your screen. Okay, good day. Thank you. We can hear you Yeah, I know you can hear me. The logo, aha, beautiful, the logo. Supply and demand screen. Is it the logo with my screenshot? Please read out what you can see as well, please. Let me just try and solve this from the other end. Hoping this plays out. Okay. Okay, so let me see. Okay, this also should work from this end as well. So I'm trying to stream this from different platforms. So that's why I might be having some issues here. Okay, so I'm going to change the screen, then you tell me what you can see after. Feedback as well. Might be feedback as well on this ones. Is there feedback as I'm talking? Hello? Okay, let me switch the screen now. Please tell me what you can see exactly. I would like your feedback. Tell me what you can see exactly. I'm going to wait for your feedback now. Then if I feel it's good, then I can start. I believe this might be good on the other platform as well. I'll just navigate back there now. Okay. Thank you, guys. You're welcome, everybody. Please let me know what you can see. If you can see my charts now, and if you can, let me know exactly what you can see on the chart. Okay, I was displaying my logo with the picture before. That's like the banner for this supply and demand live trading session. So I have switched it now. So let me see what you can see. Okay, somebody, Mr. Adam said you can see your chart. Which chart exactly can you see? What can you see on the chart? So I get confirmation that it is good to go from both ends. Okay, so thank you guys. Apologies for the delay. I had some technical difficulties, so I might have to resolve this against tomorrow and Friday and Thursday session, since this is meant to be 3 days live trading session, 3 days live supply and demand strategy. That's what we're going to be using to look for trade opportunities. And I happen to have taken about one trade for now, and I'm eyeing one or two others. So also just trying to sort out this issue over here so that we can fully dive into it. So let me just check the feedback over here to be sure what you can see. Okay, beautiful. Thank you. Adam said GBP USD. Beautiful. Thank you for that. So it seems some of us can see the GBP USD here. Thank you, guys. So let me do this quickly since you are good to go. So I'm going to do this quickly for us. I'm going to go back and share this, and then we proceed with this. And I'm just going to breeze through this, not to take much of our time. The best way to learn how to trade is by trading. I want to believe you agree with this statement. The best way to learn how to trade is by trading. And you are welcome, everybody. For those just joining us, this is the supply and demand strategy live trading session, where we're going to be diving into the market and then looking for trade opportunities in the market. And it's all about CSA to trading, common sense approach to trading. So we're going to be looking at this market with a common sense approach. We're not going to rush into the market. We're going to go according to plan. And please note that this is a trading session. I repeat, this is a trading session and not a training session. I repeat, this is a trading session, not a training session. Right? There's a difference between the two. And a quick disclaimer for you, kindly note that nothing in this communication contains or should be considered as containing an investment advice, right? Not a form of signal or an investment recommendation or a solicitation for the purpose of buying or selling of any financial instrument, but rather for educational purposes only. In a nutshell, this is strictly for education, for you to learn how I trade, and of course, for you to improve on what you are doing already. It's not meant to be a form of signal for you to use to jump into the market. And This is also brought to you by Trading Live, the platform Trading Live. So I want to thank them for giving us the opportunity. And we're going to move into the charts now and then dive straight into the charts. One thing we always say is that before we look at the charts, we need to always cross over to the calendar, right? Check the calendar to find out what news that we have coming out today or later today that could easily cause some volatility in the market, right? I would also be switching over from here to the other platforms, right, to be sure that everything is good to go. And if you have any comment whatsoever, I would also switch to them just to be, confirm that I don't miss out on any comments or questions from anybody here. So we'll try to do that as well as we proceed. So I will be very much multitasking as we are discussing now. So for those just joining us, you're welcome. This is the supply and demand live trading session, right? Okay, thank you. I can see some people from the other platforms that got it, sir. Asking if I'm more of fundamentals or technicals. It's a bit of the two of them, but we combine the two. And I would say I'm more of technical analysis, right? So this is fundamentals, something that we must always check, first of all, before we start any trading. And today is Tuesday, as you can see, April 18th. Today is Tuesday, April 18th over here. And if you look very well, we have, okay, let me quickly refresh this, please, just a second. Okay, because I need to match the timing, right? So today is Tuesday, April 18th, and we just had news come out for CAD, right? And in a few minutes, we're going to be having news come out for CAD again, which is the Bank of Canada's Governor McLean will be on the wires giving a speech, right? That's roughly 2 hours from now. But if you look at what we have here in the morning, we had much earlier for pounds, and then we had for CAD, but nothing on the USD. And we are going to be focusing majorly on the USD currency pairs, which happens to be the major currency pairs, the likes of the Euro USD, Pound USD, and the likes of them. I've actually placed a trade today, and I was hoping I could have shown you the trade. I could have even taken another one based on GBP USD, based on my bias, based on this supply and demand strategy. So you can see, first of all, we don't have anything with respect to USD for today. That means that fundamentals is clear with respect to scheduled news. We could also always have breaking news, right? Breaking news is something that is also under the fundamentals that can move the market as well. But for now, we don't have anything under the scheduled, right? And nothing we have heard on the breaking as well. So we're good to go for the technical. So we switch over to the technicals over here, right? And if you look at what we have here, the first thing we have here is GBP USD, but I want us to start with the USD index. The USD index is very, very important. And this is what I was watching a bit earlier, and I was also able to place a trade, and I'm going to explain to you. And this is based on supply and demand. I repeat, this is based on supply and demand. So this supply and demand, right, I'm going to show you on the whiteboard how supply and demand, how it works, so that you understand what the drawings I have in front of me is. We have a lot of traders out there that are trading based on different strategies, right? I'm also knowledgeable on a lot of strategies based on my years of experience. My name is Tolu Olatunji. Sorry, I should have done that at the beginning, but because of the technical difficulties we had initially, it made me to forget to introduce myself to those that are here. As I said earlier, I'm streaming this from 2 platforms via YouTube, and that's what caused a little issue. This is actually my first time streaming this on YouTube, right? So please feel free to hit the subscribe button on YouTube. The YouTube channel is CSAFOREX for those that are connecting to me directly from YouTube. For those connecting to me from Trading Live, the YouTube channel, you can search for me, CSAFOREX. Do also follow the channel, right? And of course, we'll be giving more information as we proceed. Okay, thank you. So for those on the Trading Live platform asking any news today, yes, we said there's news for pounds and also for CAD. I've already come out. but then we are focusing on the USD, and that's what I want to show you. So I want to show you, first of all, supply and demand using the whiteboard. I want to show you how supply and demand works, right? So let's assume the price is pushing higher in this manner. As it's pushing higher in this manner, then we have price move in this manner, moves down. So I can easily call this 1, I can call this 2, and then I can call this a 3 over here, right? So we have 1, 2, 3. So as we have price moving 1, 2, 3, you can see it's pushing higher. And then it pushes higher the more past 2, right? So this time around, when price is coming down, because now you can see that it is a bullish movement. It is a movement to the upside. So as it is a movement to the upside, the next thing you're looking out for is price to reverse or pull back, right? Price to reverse or pull back to the area of interest. And it might be a little bit of delay from one of the platforms, no issue whatsoever. I'll still follow through on the 2 and then try to follow up with questions from here and from there as well. So from here, we now have the pullback that starts. As it starts, this is 3, so this will now become 4. So as it starts, the aspect of supply and demand, it states that when you want to buy in an uptrend, we're looking forward to buying in a demand area. Demand simply means that buyers are in control and we should be looking forward to buying. That is demand for you. So demand is to buying and then supply is to selling. So demand over here is going to be number 3. This is what we're going to be looking forward to entry over here, number 3. You can see we had 1, 2, 3. If you are using support and resistance, I also teach support and resistance. Based on support and resistance, you'll be looking forward to number 2, entry at number 2. But number 3 is where the origin of the move started. And for you to get good and nice entry that will give you the highest reward, right? It is usually at the area of demand, right? So support and resistance with supply and demand, they are very similar, but yet a bit on the different side as well. They're very similar, but still different. So we look for an entry when price pulls back to 3, right? And then we call this our 5, and the price pushes higher past 4 and pushes in this manner. And then we have price probably do something like this in this manner, right? So we have 6 over here, 6 over here, and the price pushes higher, and then we call this number 7. So we have price pushing back to this area of number 7, known as demand. So price will push back to this area known as demand. So we wait for price to push back to number 7, demand, right? So this will be 8. Then this will now be 9 at number 7. We get our entry here and then push it higher. So this is demand for you. When it comes to supply and demand, this is how demand works for you. You're going to be looking for entry at the origin of the moves, right? So don't forget, as price is moving in this manner, right, you look for entries at this area here, 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 here. So you're looking for entry when price pulls back to those areas, right? So this is for buying. This is a buying situation over here. Now, also, please, guys, as you are here, just for me to test that the live feed is good to go from all the platforms I'm streaming to, kindly tell us your name and where you are connecting to us from. Let us know your name and where you are connecting to us from. I believe some of us are from Ghana or Nigeria, or even some of us are in Dubai, at least based on the last live streaming that we had last week. We had people from different places, right, of the world. So let us also get feedback from you where you are connecting to us from. Okay, so thank you. Okay, I can see Adam's comment said that he's in GBP JPY. We'll see whether we can flip over to that chart and use this supply and demand. We'll use the supply and demand to discuss that further. But let's continue what we have over here. So this is for buying. And in the situation of selling, when you have price move in this manner, you can see for selling, it is the reverse 1, 2, and then we have 3 over here. So for reverse, when it pushes lower here, we're looking for price to come back to 3, which happens to be our supply, right? So this happens to be our area of supply over here. So as this is supply here, we now expect the price to pull back to the area of 3 here. We get our entry and then price drops according to plan, and then we have something in this manner as well. So this now also becomes our other area of supply as well. So this becomes our area of supply. So don't forget, supply is where we're looking for to selling, and demand is where we're looking forward to buying based on the trend. So you're looking forward to selling again when price goes back to this area. I want to believe you get the gist of this. Don't forget, this is a trading session and not necessarily a training session, right? So we're going to be looking at charts. So now quickly, I'm going to flip back without further ado, flip back to our charts, and then we'll see what we're looking at for today, where we talked about the USD, where we're talking about the USD, and beautiful, it's working even more. And I believe pound USD, I might have missed out the pound USD from all of this technical issues, but I'll show you the one that I got. And look at this first of all. Look at what we have in front of us. I'm going to use this to discuss more this supply and demand. Now, if you look very well, price from here is set to push higher, and then we're able to establish this area here as demand. Sorry, my hand might not be too straight. So we're able to establish here as demand. And look at what happened. Price pushed higher. It pushed higher to this area here of supply. So we more or less have price, or we have price playing in between two areas, the area of demand and the area of supply here. So as it came to demand here, this is more of buying opportunity, right? This is more of looking for buy opportunity over here in this area of demand. And the prayer, and if you look very well, we even have a bullish, I repeat, we have a bullish engulfing over here. You should also get to know your candles, right? Your price action candles, where you talk about the engulfings, or you talk about the pin bars or the hammers, right? So we had a bullish engulfing here, and you can see the price is pushing higher. So don't be surprised if the price will push higher to this area of supply. So when it gets to this area of supply, the next question is it going to bounce from here, or is it going to break out and then push higher the more? Right? And don't forget, this is USD index. So for this USD that is bullish, meaning that you are buying, right? You are buying the USD, the US dollar. You're buying the dollar, right? That means that for a instrument like Euro USD, for Euro USD, what are you going to be doing? For Euro USD, you are going to be clicking on a sell, right? You should understand your pairing, how to pair two currencies together. For Euro USD, you are going to be clicking on sell. And I'm going to switch over to the Euro USD chart now to show you what is happening. So this is a sell over here dropping. And by the way, as Euro USD is dropping, pound USD should drop, AD USD should drop, NZD USD should drop, USD CHF, USD SWIFT should appreciate, USD JPY should appreciate, USD CAD should appreciate as well. Just to give you an idea of how this levels, supply and demand levels or zones, right? How they work, looking at the USD index. USD index on other platforms, it could easily be DXY, right? So once you understand that, then you now know how to approach the market appropriately. So with that said, if you look at what we have in front of us here, Euro USD, I was opportune to get an entry on this Euro USD. And I'm going to show you now, because I tend to do screenshots of my charts. I'm going to show you now the trade I got not too long ago, just for evidence sake. Let me just switch over to that, because I do screenshots of trades that I take. So if you look very well, this is the Euro USD, right? The exact thing that I had on the platform that you saw over there, right? Obviously, I trade with different platforms for obvious reasons. So this is the Euro USD here, H1, 1 hour time frame, right? And you can see my sell position here. And you can see at this time, when I did the screenshot, it was around 1.0962, around 1.0962. But if we cross over to the live chart now, it has dropped further from 1.0962. And I can as well adjust my stop loss over here. I can adjust my stop loss accordingly to what I have here. So it has dropped below 1.0962. You can see 1.0962 was around here. So it has dropped to about 1.0950 on this live chart that we have here. So we've missed out on this trade opportunity, but at the same time, right, if and when it gets to this area of demand, you can look forward to buying on the Euro USD. But before you buy, it's always good to consult your dollar to find out what is happening here. So I missed out on this GBP USD or really we haven't even missed out much on it because it is still at the area of this bearish engulfing here. So this is a live trade that we can easily place here. So make sure your parameters are set right. Don't forget, as a disclaimer, this should not be used as a form of signal, but rather as a form of what? As a form of education for learning purposes. So you can easily click on your sell over here because it's still within the area of sell of supply, as you can see here. You within the area of supply, and this here is your candlestick for trigger. You can see this candlestick here. I'm just going to zoom in a bit on this. I'm going to zoom in so that you see what we're talking about. So I'm going to point here. This is a bearish engulfing that we have entered on. This is bearish engulfing here on the GBP USD. Now, naturally, where do you think your stop loss should be? Naturally, your stop loss should be above this bearish engulfing that triggered it. So this would be your stop loss, about 30 pips over here. So this is what you're going to be doing when you place your trades. Where do you think your take profit should be? Your initial take profit or your first area of trouble should be here, which is about 60 pips, which is the demand over here. And then you have another area here at the bottom here that you can decide to take your full profit here. So this is one that you can decide to take over here, which is about 120, 130 pips. So your risk is about 30 pips, but then your reward could easily be 60 or 120 pips over here, right? So please, I'm also trying to check the feeds that we have for your questions, for your comments. You can see this one that we just placed, GBP USD. I placed this one in front of you. I can see it's so far so good, it's working, going according to plan. But that simply means that our Euro USD should be dropping the more because USD index is appreciating, and then you can see the pound USD is dropping the more from this area of supply. So as we're discussing, we're going to see how this one plays out. The more it's moving more in our favor. You can always decide to adjust your stop loss accordingly, just above this area here. This is your area of supply. Adjust it here, and as it moves the more in your favor, you can continue to adjust it the more. Okay, I can see some comments from Trading Live platform. Somebody's asking what's your view on gold. I'll talk about gold a bit in a second, but I just want to make sure that we are clear on what we have just talked about so far. Also, please let us know your name and where you are connecting to us from. Are you in France? Where exactly are you? Are you somewhere in Europe? Let's know where you're connecting to us from. Thank you. I can see Jacob Benjamin said from Nigeria. Let me see also Adam said from Ghana. Okay, thank you guys. So we have others that are joining us from other platforms as well. So I would continue to flip through the platforms to see the comments that we have. Let's see. Let's know where you're connecting to us from, especially those from Trading Live platform. Geraldine says something about pounds. Pounds is pushing up, but my overall bias is still sell. Yeah, the pound that is pushing up is a pullback, as you can see on our charts in front of us. You can just call it a pullback because it has gotten to the area or zone. You can either call it an area or level or zone. It has gotten to the zone of sellers supply, and you can see we've gotten a reaction there. That was a breach out over there. We've gotten to the area of supply, and you can see we pulled the trigger based on the price action candlestick formation, right? And you can always pull your trigger based on different things at the end of the day. This is what we have over here based on this GBP USD. And once again, we are here talking about the supply and demand trading strategy. And this is live. We're looking at trading opportunities live, right? So let us know where you're connecting to us from. Once again, let's know which country you're connecting to us. I am connecting to you from Canada, British Columbia in Canada. That's BC. So if there's anybody that happens to be in BC in Canada, let me know. And maybe we could always hook up if you happen to be in my city, because British Columbia is actually pretty large, right? We have some places here like the Vancouver, Kelowna, Vernon, Penticton, and so on, right? Kamloops and the rest. So let me know exactly where you are. If you happen to be in BC, Canada, or if you're in Europe, Africa, let me know where you are as well. Because I know a lot of us are connecting to us from different time zones. I believe UK time zone is about 2:30 p.m. now, while I am in PST, Pacific time. It's just after 6:30 a.m. And I believe if you are in the Eastern time, EST, that should be around, if I'm not mistaken, that should be around 9:30 or 8:30 thereabout, right? So thank you guys for joining. So let's continue with what we have here. And now we have talked about the Euro USD and Pound USD based on what is happening to the dollar. And somebody asked gold, what do I think about gold? I'm going to quickly switch over to gold now. So I think I have gold open. This is gold over here. So I'm going to click on gold, right? So looking at this gold from what we have in front of us, you can see we have this area here of supply. I'll just put S here for supply. This is an area of supply here, but price did not get to that supply and then started to drop. And then this is an area of demand over here, and the price is yet to get there. This is demand because of this, and then it got here and then pushed higher, but yet to get to this area of supply. So one thing you also need to note is that price is always within two areas. It's always within the two zones. In this case, it's always within the supply and demand. It just has to do with if price gets to the demand, you wait for your trigger, right? You wait for your trigger to go long. Long is to buy, to go long. And if price should get to the area of supply, you'd wait for your trigger to go short, which is to sell. You always pay attention to the area and then also have clues that will let you know whether the supply is going to break to the upside after you've gotten to buy, or if the demand is going to break to the downside after you've gotten the opportunity to sell. And the different factors that we can use to gauge that as well. You can use the likes of news, right? If you have news coming out around the corner, then you know most likely that news is going to give you some big, massive candles like what we have over here, some big candles where you know more or less is going to smash through those levels. Because those levels are there for a reason. They're there either to bounce off or to break out of, right? Either they're going to bounce off those levels or they're going to break out of those levels, right? So you also need to have a good enough understanding, right, if it's going to bounce or break. And the way you can do that, right, the way you can do that is using some clues like news. News, number one, remember we said you should always check the calendar, check the chart to find out the volatility level, if it's going to be volatile today or tomorrow or whatever the case might be. Right? Because I can tell you for a fact that if you check your calendar once again, you will notice that in as much as we did not have USD news today and we don't have tomorrow as well, we're going to have USD on Thursday based on unemployment claims. So you need to pay attention to the USD currency pairs, right? And you can see gold also has USD inside. And from what we have over here, gold, note this down, guys, right? This is like a little tip or trick. Gold tends to move in the opposite direction to the dollar. Meaning that if the dollar is appreciating, you can expect gold to drop. I repeat, if the dollar is going up, you can expect the gold to drop as well. So this is for the gold that somebody mentioned not too long ago. Once again, you can see USD, the index, the dollar index still appreciating. Now it's in between. So please do not try to buy or sell anything that we've talked about now. I'm already in this. This one, we took it together here. It is still very much in range, and we wait for the candle to close before you conclude on anything, right? Kelly Reynolds said, likewise, resistance and support. Yes, as we said earlier, this supply and demand is very similar to support and resistance. There's just some slight differences based on the area or level or zone. And that's why earlier we drew this here, that when price is moving higher, in this manner, right, there are two levels that you can look for a retracement. You can look for a retracement here, call this demand, right? You can call this support, or you call this demand. The truth now also is that price could bounce from either of the two. But today we're looking at demand based on the origin of the move, the origin of this move. The price tends to move to the origin of the move over here, where you get your entry, trigger, and then it pushes higher. We're looking at the origin of the moves, because the origin of the moves will give you more reward at the end of the day, right? More reward at the end of the day. And that's why we have your risk to reward ratio that we must always use as a final reason to enter the market. I repeat, a final reason to enter the market, which is your risk to reward ratio. If price gets to your area of supply for you to sell, or it gets to your area of demand for you to buy, if the risk to reward ratio is not worth it, I repeat, if it is not worth it, then you do not take that trade. I repeat, if it is not worth it, then you don't take that trade, no matter what, right? You can see this one I have in front of us. We've already established that our stop loss is about 30 pips here on this GBP USD. And then the take profit, final take profit is about 120, 130 pips. That's about 1 to 4, 1 to 5 approximately, which is a fantastic trade if you ask me. How many of these type of trades do you need in a month, in a year, right? That means that the best thing to do is not to rush into the market. Always wait for the market to come to you, and then you approach the market appropriately. I repeat, you approach the market appropriately. I want to also apologize as we continue to have this session. I want to apologize because of the earlier technical difficulties that we had. I had to actually switch on the Trading Live. That's the platform for those on the Trading Live. I had to switch from the initial link to a fresh one because I was having issues with that. I just had to cancel that one and then quickly make adjustments. So I'm going to have to make adjustments to the remaining for tomorrow, Wednesday, and also Thursday as well. So apologies for that once again. So with that said, right, let's quickly look at a few instruments and we're going to call it a day. Don't forget, this is a live trading session and not a training session. If you want to learn more about the supply, demand, or support, resistance, or fundamentals, you want to learn more about risk management, how to calculate it, right? I have a course that you can always subscribe to. If you're interested in that, let me know. I can put up the link on the platforms that people are joining, either directly through the YouTube platform or through the Trading Live platform, whatever platform. I can put that up if you request for the link to subscribe to it. Let me know that you're interested in the link for the course. I have a course, and that course is just $197. So if you're interested, let me know. I'll put up the risk and then put it up for you. Okay, I have a comment coming in. Okay, Len O'Neill said, I understand risk very well. Awesome, that is good. Risk management is very, very important. And we've talked about that in the past. We have it also in the course I just mentioned. Risk management is going to help you to minimize losses. I repeat, it's going to help you to minimize losses and then maximize profit. Minimize losses and then maximize profits. Very key, very important for us to take note of. Okay, I think somebody talked about pounds JPY. That it should be Mr. Adams from Ghana. Talked about the pounds JPY. So let's look at the pound JPY quickly. Let's look at the pound JPY now. I'm going to switch over to the pound JPY. This is pound JPY here, so I'm going to switch over to it. You can see the pound JPY, the first thing that jumps at you is the movement. You can see it is pushing higher and higher and higher, right? So as it's pushing higher, that means that it is for you to look for buying opportunities. And this is what we mean by it is pushing higher. You can see this up movement that we have here. This is a fresh wave that we have over here. So as it's pushing higher in this manner, then it's not too clean, if you ask me. It's kind of dirty, but at the same time, it is pushing higher. So as it's pushing higher, it is buying opportunities that we're interested in. Meaning that we're looking forward to demand. We're looking forward to price getting to the areas of demand for us to get our entry in and follow the trend, right? For me, I always say that it is more about trend trading, following the trend and not counter trend trading. Following the trend, following the fresh wave, because price tends to move in waves, right? Following the fresh trend is always very, very important. Meaning that for this one here that we have the GBP JPY, I'll be more interested in what I will be more interested in price coming back to this area here of demand for me to look for my trigger to take it higher. Or it could even come back to this area of demand here and then push higher. So we have an area of interest here of demand. I call this number 1 and then call this number 2. Then if you are already in longs, and I can see Salome Mansfield said, holding multiple buy positions. Holding multiple buy positions on what? Is it on this pound JPY? If it is on the pound JPY, then that's good because it is still bullish and the bias for now is still bullish. And if you are looking for opportunities on this pound JPY, it should be buying because you are going with the trend. I am more of a trend trader and not counter trend. So I would always advise to look for opportunities to buy. I repeat, I will look for opportunities to buy in this market over here, right? And I have Adams Ayabari from YouTube saying, I entered at 165.789 long. Okay, 165.789, 165.789. That should be around here. So if you entered around here, then that means that you were most likely using this area here because you had an area here of demand, right? And this is an area of demand because you have here, you can see how we kept on bouncing. You must have entered here. And of course, that means that your entry is not from today. Okay, and Salome Mansfield said yes. Okay, that means that you are in the GBP JPY. Okay, awesome. Now, guys, we're going to be rounding up within a few minutes, right? Apologies once again for the technical difficulties. So I'll sort out against Wednesday and Thursday's live trading sessions where we'll look for opportunities in the market. And so far, we're using a 1 hour time frame. This 1 hour time frame is more of intraday stroke swing trading positions. Yes, swing or intraday trading position analysis, more or less. I'm considering doing something for scalping, maybe next week or upper week, something for scalping. Do we have scalpers in the house? If you are a scalper, just type scalper, right? And I'll read it on the platforms. If you're a scalper, type scalper, because we have different types of traders at the end of the day. We have those that are trading with the trend, right? Trend traders that are scalpers. Because scalpers, you can trade whether with the trend or against the trend. Don't forget, I already said trend trading is much safer. That's for me, right? So I can only practice what I preach and I can only tell you guys what I do, right? So once again, trend trading is the way, right? And you could be a scalper or whatever the case might be. So you are trying to go with the trend. I repeat, with the trend. So going with the trend for this GBP JPY that we have in front of us, it is a thing of buying. So we wait for buying opportunities in the market, right? So don't forget, supply and demand is what we have been talking about so far, so good. And one thing I can always say is that you must ensure that you have your formula where you check the news. First of all, check the news for what's coming out in the news. And then next thing, you check your chart for directional bias. Remember, we just said trend trading, right? Trend trading, number one. You could either be a scalper or intraday swing or even position traders. We hardly have position traders out there because position traders are those type of traders that can hold a position for months or for years. The types of the kind of the Warren Buffett type of traders. But we hardly have those type of traders, most likely because of your account balance and some other things as well. Probably you're not used to trading, so you don't know how to hold trades for long period of time, right? Maybe you don't have the patience as well. Don't forget, this business is known as investing. So it's all about investing from the long period of time. Okay, so as we're rounding up now, I just want to just tell everybody as you are here that we're talking about supply and demand based on the trading opportunities, how to jump into the market. And we talked about the USD. You can see the USD seems to be dropping a bit, but it is not yet clear on whether it's going to get here or get here. What we can say is that it is much nearer to this area of demand. So if it pulls lower again, if it drops lower again to this area, then this will be a good one for us to look for another buy opportunity to push it higher because it is still within the area of demand. I repeat, it is still within the area of demand. So it is good for what? It is good for buying opportunities. So we're going to wait to see how this candle closes on the H1, and then we'll also check on the ones that we have, jumped in on, right? Let me clear this first of all. We jumped in on Euro USD. That is still okay. And we also jumped in on Pound USD as well. You can see it is still okay. We didn't even move our stop loss back to the highs over here. There's no reason, I repeat, there's no reason for you to be afraid of the market when you place a trade. The only reason why you're afraid is when you're using a lot size, a volume that is too large, too heavy for your account balance to carry. So always ensure that you are using proper risk. We're going to be rounding up, guys, within a second or two. Let me just try to go over the comments over here. Hope you guys were able to learn one thing or the other. All right, hope you were able to learn one thing or the other. We just talked about the Euro USD not too long ago. We also talked about pounds USD as well. And then we talked about gold. You can see gold is in the middle of nowhere. You do absolutely nothing. And pound JPY, we looked at pound JPY as well, right? We could always look at some other ones like Bitcoin. Beautiful. Look at Bitcoin over here. This is the final one we're going to talk about, and we'll call it a day. Right? Don't forget, if you're interested in learning, because this is not a training, it's trading session. If you're interested in learning how to trade the market the proper way, you can always subscribe to the course. I can drop the link if anyone is interested. So this here, you can see this was an area of supply, and this big candle is smashed through it. So there was no entry right here. And that's why I don't use pending orders. That's why I don't use pending orders. I wait for the market to get to the area and wait for a sort of struggle. You can see there's a sort of struggle here. But this is a good one for sellers to jump in. You can jump in here if you're a seller based on what we have over here. So you jump in here to sell and then watch the market pull back to these areas here. Because price has now taken out this one, I can easily knock this one out of the equation. As this big candle has taken this area of supply out, I can disconnect from here. It's no more an interest to me. So if I get an entry here on the Bitcoin, my stop loss is going to be above that level, and I'm going to hold it all the way down to this area. Because this Bitcoin, right, it poses good reward. This is the reward while the risk is just above here. So this is a good one for you to enter for good hour to hour risk to reward ratio at the end of the day. Right. So with that said, I want to say thank you to you guys. Apologies once again for the earlier issue. I'm going to try to resolve that now, and then tomorrow should be smooth sailing for us all, and then also for Thursday as well. And we'll see how we can do this more often, right, to help everybody to understand. Okay, beautiful. I can see Mr. Adams said he entered since last week. Okay, great. So we're going to do this more often to help everybody out, and of course, so that you can become a better, I repeat, a better trader at the end of the day, right? So we've been talking about supply and demand trading, tomorrow we're going to meet up as well. And if you want to reach out to me, you can chat me up via Instagram at CSAFOREX. The CSA stands for Common Sense Approach. CSA, Common Sense Approach, right? So I want to say thank you guys for joining me, and tomorrow we'll meet up same time, right, to have this discussion more, and of course we'll learn how to trade. Please, guys, also do something for me. The charts that we have looked at, all these charts that we have looked at, please still pay attention to them, and let's see how they end up, because we'll still talk about them tomorrow and see what, or rather how they played out. But if they played out based on our live analysis today, it will be good. It will build confidence in you as a trader. And that's why we always say, make sure, I repeat, make sure you are following our sessions back to back. Don't come once and then not come until next week or next month and so on. Once you follow them back to back, then you know previously we talked about this, talked about that, and so on. So thank you guys. Catch you same time tomorrow, and we'll continue with the supply and demand, and then help you out more. Enjoy the rest of the day, and goodbye for now. Let me gradually start to round this off from all the platforms. Thank you, Mr. Adams, for saying thank you too. Thank you, every other person that seems to be here. Thank you for joining us as well. Unfortunately, I was not able to make screenshots to post on different platforms. Okay, but thank you guys. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the day, and goodbye.